All right, so today I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different. So I already have a high flow catalytic converter in the car, but with the vortex it creates while trying to make boost, I just decided, you know what? We're going catless. So I'm gonna be throwing that on the car today and installing that. I'm a little bit worried about the noise because it's already pretty loud, which might lead to maybe a different exhaust. I would keep the whole 3-inch exhaust system, but and then I also have an aftermarket, Vibrant Ultra Quiet on it, which I love. I would recommend those, but I might switch out the muffler. So yeah, we're gonna get to installing this, and yeah, I'm excited. So here is the non-catted version. So as you can see, it's got different bungs welded on for the O2 sensors. So there are 2 in the car. So for that, we do get all these different gaskets and new nuts, but there are also plugs in there for whichever O2 we don't end up using. Now this one will get used because there's one down lower and then one of these. I'm not sure which one yet. So yeah. Now another thing I will be doing on it is I will be heat wrapping it. I did that with my other one. It does reduce the temperature, the ambient temperature. I can run my car and go in there and literally touch the thing after running it for a while. So I would recommend that. Even if it's just, I picked this up at AutoZone, and that's what I did with the first one as well, and it seems to work, so. Alrighty, so we're gonna get started on this, and as you can see, we've got one of our O2 sensors here, and then there is another one back there that I'm gonna grab after I get this one off. But we're just gonna go ahead, see if I can get this 7/8 in there in the position that I can actually start turning this. There we go. All right, so I was able to get that one out. So I am gonna be cleaning these off just a little bit, just to reset them. And then, yeah, I will go ahead and get to the other one. So like I said, the other one is going to be in the back there, kind of out of the way, but you're going to want to just get that one off as well so that we can start loosening all of the actual bolts. There should be 4 here and then 3 down below. So I am going to be jacking up the car in order to get under there and unbolt it from the downpipe. And just like that, we've got that back one out as well. And like I said, I will be cleaning these off. As sometimes as they get carbon buildup, they can start running a little weird. So that one's all white. This one looks like kind of half and half. So yeah, so from there, like I said, just right there, and the other bung will be right down there. And that one down there is a lot easier to reach, and these are 7/8. And then if you want to, the connectors, so this one for mine was just tucked right down here. You can just unplug that. And then this one goes right on the bottom side of this. So there's another clip down right where my finger is, right there. So I just went ahead and got those O2 sensors cleaned. I'll show those in a second, but I'm gonna move back over here for a second, get this wrapped really quick with the titanium mesh. And then we'll move to uninstalling the old cats. All right, so once you got your first loop on there, you're gonna wanna make sure that it's nice and tight. And we're gonna grab one of our metal zip ties. And from here, I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap the rest of it. So as you can see, the nuts that are going to hold the Cat to the turbo are going to be a 15 millimeter socket. So obviously there are going to be a few that you can get from up top, including, I do believe you should be able to grab the one right on the other side, right underneath the manifold there. And then possibly if we take this off, you can see the other one right below this top one. But that back corner, that we will have to get under the car for. I just don't want to spend too much time underneath the car, as the floor is soaking wet from all the snow that's just melted and pretty gross. But I'm going to go ahead to getting the nuts removed off the top here. Alright, so I was able to get this top one out, and then the other one, that one down there, it just keeps bumping into the wall, so I'm going to try and get at it with a bunch of extensions from underneath the car back there, and then same with this one. But for now, we're going to go ahead and get the car up on jacks. So as you can see, I am under the car now. There's two bolts right there, and then one right on the top. You can kind of see it. And then there's going to be a hanger right there in the back. And then you should be able to reach up from here and get those other two bolts that are way up there on the other end. So I'm going to go ahead and get those all off. It's going to be hard to film it because it's so cramped in here, but yeah, we'll go ahead and get those off now. So as you can see, I ended up just taking the mid pipe out. It just pulled right out of there, and then I got access to that top bolt. That was really difficult, so I would recommend just pull that out real quick in order to get to that after you've loosened everything else. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and remove that last bolt and then pull it out, and we will swap the new one in. So I went ahead and just got that all undone and pulled right out. So that's the nice thing. If you have a stock one, they can be difficult because they are much bigger. I actually have the stock one. I mean, as you can already see, it is much larger. So if you're dealing with the stock one, might have a hard time getting it out, but I would highly recommend. I mean, if I can get some light in there. I mean, it is just absurd how much that blocks. And then this one, we'll see. You can see it's nice and open, high flow like they say. And this one actually looks pretty good. But I'm ready to move on to the Catless. It looks like I'm going to use this bung and cover this one up, which I already did, as these line up pretty well, and then these do line up as well. So, but even that, I mean, look at said, it's completely catless. Okay, so as you can see, I got the new one in place, ready. I did already put the new gasket that comes with the kit on the turbo, the hot side there. I also got these. Oh, I think what did I just knock off? Anyways, so from here, I'm gonna get underneath the car and I want to connect the mid pipe to the downpipe first, as that's the one that I was having a lot of trouble with as far as the bolts go, in particular the top bolt. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those all connected, and then we'll be able to push this up onto those bolts, and that should be super simple and easy with this one, seeing as it doesn't have a cat. There is a lot of room to mess around with stuff, and it comes with new hardware, which is always a great thing because none of it's seized and it's super easy to thread on and off. And then last thing will be getting those O2 sensors back in there in order. So I got all the new gasket, the new bolts, and the new nuts on there. I've got to tighten them down still. But then from there, all you'll have to do is pull up from the top, and there's new hardware. Should be able to place it on those old studs and then just screw those nuts on there to hold it. And then there is a little bracket up there that you'll have to get all connected on the new one. All right, so all those are tightened up to that mid pipe, and I went ahead and pushed this all the way up on its bolts there. So I'm gonna go ahead and got the new hardware here. I'm just gonna set these here for now. I'm gonna go ahead and just start threading them on there. So I just went ahead and got all of those tightened down. Looks great. So one thing you'll have to do is one, obviously plug in your O2 sensors there, but then also on this side, you can see that shiny piece going across right there. That's a little mount that goes to the bottom of this curve that you'll have to get it. It's just a bolt and another nut. They're both 13 millimeter, and you'll just hook it through. There's a little brace in the bottom. You can see it on this one. It's just like that. Now on the new one, it's literally just a tiny little cutout, which I actually like and will be helpful. So, and then the last thing I will have to do, and I might do that now actually, is I've got to get that reconnected, and that should be super easy. Should just go back together. So I got everything back up and connected. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it off the jack stands. And then I got one of the O2 sensors, but I'll get the other one. And yeah, that should be it. So there's the cold start with the test pipes. It's actually a lot quieter than I thought it would be. So I'm actually super happy with it. I am gonna do a little test drive here, take it around, see what it can do. I'm sure the boost will be much better, and it did snow, so who knows, maybe we'll spin the tires a little bit, but yeah.